Hey, I'm Meredith from Texas Haynet, and in my hand I've got our Haynet repair kit. And today I want to talk to you about how you can easily repair your nets at home. Texas Haynets are built tough and durable, but sometimes holes happen. So no worries, you can easily repair your holes and leave your net in service for years to come. And so this comes in a nice little resealable, reusable bag. So your roll of twine comes with about 400 feet of twine, and it's great for repairing any net that you have, as well as other things on the farm that might need a little bit of repairing and tightening up. So in my hand, I've got a couple of feet of twine, and we're gonna use this to repair this hole. It's probably a little more twine than we need, but that's okay. First thing you'll wanna do is take one end of this, and it's okay that it's frayed. We're gonna fix that later. So take one end of this twine, and you're gonna bring the two closest ends towards the top of that hole together. It's not gonna be super pretty and lined up like the rest of these holes, but that's okay. Doesn't affect the product at all. So pull these two together. You're gonna take this piece and slide it back behind the two. Then pull it together, and then just tie a couple of knots in it on top of each other, just like you would a present or a bow, something like that. So the key here is to get your knots as tight as you can. They're not gonna be super pretty, and that's okay. Tightness is the key. So once you've got a couple of good starter knots, you're gonna kind of repeat this process, except what you'll wanna do is to continue to pull the two sides together, but you're gonna wanna loop this, just like that, onto one side. So I prefer to kind of go to the left, so I'll make a loop on the left, pull your two sides together, run this up underneath your two sides and back through the loop. Just like that. And you're just gonna keep repeating this process all the way through till you get that hole closed up at the very bottom. So and then you can kind of skip down in places, loop over, pull your string back through the behind, just like that. So the key here is you just want to keep everything nice and tight, and as you cinch down on those knots, just slide them back up, one right up underneath the other. And then once you feel like you've got your hole closed up the way you want it, and you feel like everything's nice and tight, you're just gonna come back and kind of repeat those little starter knots on the very end, and you'll just have to loop them through at the end. This time you're not bringing any of your twine, you're not bringing any of your net through, you're just working with the twine at this point. So get you, a few of those on the end. So I think we've kind of reached the end of this. You can see my twine starting to fray quite a bit. Last thing you want to do is kind of just cut your ends off. And I wouldn't cut them all the way at the knot. Leave you, a little inch or so in front of your knot. Last thing you want to do is get you a lighter and heat seal these ends, because you can see everything's kind of frayed, and we want to kind of clean that up so that your knots don't come out on you. So just go through here and seal those right on up, just like that. It's going to melt and it's going to smoke a little bit. That's okay. And you'll see it's kind of wet from melting, so it'll dry here in a second, and you'll come back and do the same on this other one. Just get it down to that knot, let it smoke, let it dry. So you can see where it's frayed, where the net was originally broken, so you can come back and grab those two and tidy those up a little bit if you want. So it's important to remember while you're doing this with your lighter that you don't want to catch your hay on fire. You also want to make sure you know where your hands are, because you don't want to touch that hot melting nylon. So once you've got your ends lighted and melted together, you're done and you're ready to feed and move on. So just because your net gets a hole in it doesn't mean it's the end of the line for your net. You can still repair it and use it for years to come. If you have any questions about our Haynet repair kit or any of our other products, call us at 325-388-2727, hop on the website at texashaynet.com and shoot us an email.